So what is mindfulness and why is it important?
Disclaimer alert! Disclaimer alert! Please pause the video and read the disclaimer.
Most accurate for me definition of mindfulness that I've heard states that mindfulness is fully awake and embodied awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment. So mindfulness is being present. So if you're watching this video, mindfulness is just focusing on watching this video and nothing else. I want you to understand that mindfulness is a school of thought. It's an ancient practice that has been practiced by many different type of cultures. It's also a school of thought that people study, like people have PhDs and have, ashrams and stuff like that where they practice mindfulness. It is a study that psychology has adopted because it works in helping people heal themselves. What I guess I'm saying is that this little video of mine is not going to do mindfulness justice because, as I said, it's a school of thought. People have PhDs. You can study it forever. So let's just say this is introduction to mindfulness. And the three legs that I'm going to discuss are: you focus attention, you have open awareness, and you also have kind attention. Most people, they start them with focusing attention on their breath, right? You just pay attention to you. This is, your breathing in and out, breathing in and out. Some people find it difficult, so I suggest that they focus their attention on one thing. So being here at the ocean, you're focusing attention on just what the waves are doing, hearing the waves in and out. That's what you're focusing attention. And then you have open awareness. That means you don't judge what you are seeing, what you are experiencing, or what you are doing, or what you're paying attention to. So you have that inquisitive mind, or you're curious of, wow, I can feel my breath is warm. You just allow it to come. Thoughts might come into your mind. You just allow them. Watch them come and go. You have kindness to what you're seeing. So there's no judgment. So let's say you're paying attention and a painful memory comes to your mind. Just watch it for what it is and let it come and go. So it's you paying attention to that. So basically, the focus, as I said, is more physical. So you focus on your breath. Basically, in this action of focus, we focus on the six senses: what you hear, feel, see, taste. There's also mindful music. So I have meditations on this channel, but I'm going to create more mindful and more meditative videos to help you to just try and find everything that you need in one place, right? So you just focus on that one thing, right? You gently allow, you don't fight any thoughts that comes in your mind, but you also don't argue with them. You don't, if a thought comes in your mind and say, Tumisang was wearing a red shirt, I don't know, and I actually think she looks better in yellow. You don't say she shouldn't have worn a red shirt. You just allow it. It's a thought. She's wearing a red shirt, and you let it pass. This section of focusing attention is based on mind and body. You start to be in your body. You feel your sensation, right? I said, you touch, listen, you feel your breath, you experience the ocean, the sand, the rocks, the water, the smell of you just being in that moment and allowing everything else to fall off, right? And the second one is you are curious, right? Open awareness. So don't say, oh, it's the ocean, I've seen it before. This is how the ocean sounds, I've been there before. Just be curious about it. You know, like a 2-year-old would. My nephew heard the birds and he said, Mumsy, you hear it? I hear that. And I said, oh yes, buddy, I hear it, right? He's experiencing birds singing. So you go back into that awareness of a child with that pure intention of, oh my God, that's birds singing, right? Boy, so you have open awareness as a child would. So you experience things without judgment of them being good or bad. Just allow yourself to just experience it, right? And be aware of your emotions here. They're not good or bad. You know, a thought coming to your mind, watch it and let it pass, because, you know, as Jan Van Zen says, it's not your anger, it's universal. We all feel angry, right? It's not my anger. You don't own it. Let it pass through you, because that's what it's doing. It's not your joy. Let it pass, right? That's what being mindful is about. You just allow things to be what they are without owning them, without interrogating them, without trying to give reasons or excuses for them. Just let it be, right? And loving kindness, you have to have empathy with yourself. Sometimes a friend would be hurt or in pain, and we tend to want to help them and be understanding, right? Or when they have a painful experience, a painful memory, we tend to want to be kind and understanding with our friends, but we're very intolerant of ourselves. So the same type of compassion that you would extend to your friend, it's the same type of compassion that you should extend to yourself, right? So mindfulness is about focusing, open awareness, and kindness, kind compassion, right? Anger, painful memories, they just want you to love them as well, so that they can go on their way. They just want you to acknowledge them as well, so that they can go on their way. So you're like, yeah, but we've been speaking about psychology and all that. How is this mindfulness helpful? Well, mindfulness helps you with the following, right? It helps you with triggered behavior, such as impulsiveness. So when you learn to sit and feel what you're feeling, you learn to look at your thoughts, and you learn to experience your experiences, it helps with that behavior. You don't just act, but you know, it helps you think before you act, because you're learning to stop and just be in the moment instead of just acting and reacting all the time. It helps you have insight in yourself, right? Your body, your thoughts, your experiences. You start to learn, this is where I feel anxiety, this is where I feel angry, my heart palpitates. If, like, I know my heart palpitates, for instance, if I'm dehydrated, right? You start to learn many things about yourself. It helps you explore you, helps you make better choices, because most things are resolved with time. If you're angry, if you take a minute and just pay attention, be mindful of where you are, within an hour or two, I mean, if you've had a lot of practice, 5 minutes, medium practice, hour or two, lots of practice, a week, it'll take you a week, you'll be over it. And all the things that you could have done or said to be hurtful or to ruin a relationship would have not been done. Some of the myths that people think is that they think that if I'm mindful or I'm practicing mindfulness, then I won't feel stress. That's not true. People, with time, as you progress in your mindfulness, it will reduce your stress. But in the beginning, you might feel stress because you don't know how to be still yet. Stress because you don't know how to tolerate your emotions yet. Stress because you don't know how to soothe yourself yet. So in the beginning, you might feel stress, and it's okay. Just be mindful. With time, you will start to feel better. This is what mindfulness looks like, right? It's this cloud that is chaotic. With practice, it becomes lighter. With more practice, it becomes clearer. This rope, right? With time, things are intense, becomes unknotted, and then it's straight. It's gonna take time, it's gonna take practice, but you have to be deliberate about being mindful, right? Just learn to be in your own body, in your own self. Learn to focus. Just allow, be aware. You don't have to interact. Remember, some people say, I'm being mindful, and they're just addicted to thinking. They're fighting with themselves back and forth, back and forth. Being mindful is just allowing the thought to be there and not engaging with it. Letting it, acknowledge it, see it, meet it with kindness. I see you. You know, we had that, open, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. You can even do that. As every thought, as emotion comes, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And I hope you do practice this mindfulness practice, because it does wonders. You will get to know yourself better, especially if you mix it with journaling. You'll be a master of yourself. You'll know who you are. Please do a kind act today by sharing this video with at least one person, and ask them to share it with one person, because knowledge is power. When we know better, we do better. And when we know better, we also know where to ask for help, right? So if you're struggling mentally, please seek for a therapist in your area. And I will see you in the next video. Deuces!